Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Ask Leah. Tonight, I'm talking about something that I feel really passionately about, and that is our ability to disagree with someone else's opinion or position without attacking the person. Now, particularly on social media, a lot of people seem to be losing the ability to do this. If they disagree with another person's viewpoint, rather than play the ball, they go the person instead. And they bring things into the argument that are really personal about the other person's race, sexual orientation, gender, and they attack that person. Now, of course, we've got the trolls out there, and the trolls are just looking deliberately to attack someone else and promote hate and to be vile and misogynistic or racist to other people as some kind of sport, which I won't even pretend to understand. It's horrific what we see against whether it's our trans community, whether it is our Aboriginal community here in Australia at the moment. You get those ones that are absolute trolls. However, you also see people who otherwise they wouldn't see themselves as trolls, but rather than just disagree on the point and argue or debate the point, they bring personal things into it about the other person. We saw this with Stan Grant recently, where people, rather than just disagree with his opinions or the things he said before the coronation of King Charles, they attacked him as an Aboriginal man. They made it about race. We see this about female journalists all the time, where the comments become about their appearance or their weight or some sort of sexual innuendo or threats of violence. We see it against our LGBTQIA plus community, where people say the most horrific things. And I just want to encourage you. I know that my listeners, my audience are wonderful people. You're wonderful humans, and you don't have to agree with me on everything. You don't have to agree with everything of anyone that you follow. But if you are choosing to engage and disagree, first off, I'd ask you, do I even need to engage here? Sometimes you can disagree with what someone says and you don't need to debate it. You can just go, okay, that's their opinion, and I'm going to scroll on by. There's something big to be said for scrolling on by sometimes. But if you do want to engage in a conversation or a debate on the issue, I just urge you, play the ball, not the person. Don't get in the heat of the moment sucked into personal attacks against someone else. And to all of the really wonderful, reasonable people who follow me, my ask of you is this. Don't leave it up to our minorities to shoulder the hate that comes at them on their own. Be a good ally. Now, that does not mean necessarily engaging with the trolls and feeding them, because it's horrific. They thrive off that engagement. But it may be, rather than just scrolling past a pile-on, you might not engage with the troll, but geez, you might jump into the comments and offer your support. You might leave a positive comment, because if more of us jumped in and put positive comments underneath something that we support, it can drown out those really noisy, hateful comments, or at least show these people that they have allies, they have people who believe in them, who support them, because social media can be a pretty awful place, and the majority are scrolling past and the hate just gets so loud. So be a good ally. Educate yourself about some of these issues if you don't really understand why people are getting so antsy about them. And back your friends, back your colleagues, back the community up, because this polarization, this hate we're seeing is so damaging. And while you might be able to just scroll on by, the people this impacts, our Aboriginal friends, our LGBTQIA plus community, women who are out there campaigning against domestic violence, the stuff these people are putting up with, it's absolutely horrific. So if you're engaging in the debate, keep it about the issue, not the person, and be a good ally and back these wonderful humans up. Don't let hate win. Choose kindness and love every time. If you have a communication, leadership, people skill, self-management question you would like answered, send it through and I will do my best to answer it for you next week. Cheers.